Welcome, everybody. This is March, the windy month. Welcome to the iBug Android Insight Call, where we're all about Android. So, as y'all all know, this is where we can come and talk and discuss and share anything and everything that happens on the Android platform. So we talk about everything from your smartphone to your tablet, Android tablet, Fire tablet, whether it's your Alexa device, Fire TV, even Braille devices. So you are welcome in here. As you know, we are the community, the Android community, where we help and assist each other. So welcome again to March's Call. My name is Ava Caruth. I'm out of Houston, Texas, and I'm one of your Zoom hosts, facilitators for this call. And my co-facilitator is
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Hershey. I'm from Daytona Beach, Florida, and welcome to the show.
yes. So let me do a little bit of housekeeping. As you know, iBug
Yeah,
is
let's look
our
for your
host.
phone.
Is our host for this show. So when you want more information about iBug, please go to ibugtoday.org where you can find more information about what iBug has going on during the month, because we have a whole lot going, not just the Android Insight Call on the third Wednesday. There are several other things that are going on throughout the
Hey,
month.
hey, hey, Ava, I heard there's a party or something. Do y'all meet up or something? I'm in Florida. Isn't there something coming up that y'all do? Meet up somewhere?
Actually, there is something
Hmm.
coming up, but I will announce that in a minute. So, because we want our callers to be involved as well. But let's talk about the iBug Android movie that's coming up on Friday. That is Friday evening, starting at 7:15. You can log in. Movie starts at 8. And it's the social hour before 8 o'clock, but it's the same Zoom link that we're on. All iBug events on Zoom happen on the same Zoom link. And the movie for Friday is Key Largo, 1948. So, sounds interesting. So, come in and join the movie. We also have the Apple Workshop coming up on March 22nd. So, and that starts at 2 p.m. Okay, and you can also log on through the Zoom line. But also, y'all, please keep it in mind. Please come and join. Apple is having their technology giveaway, $500
iBug.
giveaway. Tickets are $10. If you buy 6, you'll pay $50. And if I'm wrong, Michael will get me. But you have until May, Julie, 24th?
Basically going is maybe.
23rd.
23rd. You have until May 23rd to get your tickets. And you can contact Michael McCullough. And you can always look on the website and they have those listed. All right, Hershey.
Yeah, you know that website. If you want to actually get to it, it's www.ibugtoday.org. And there's also a mailing list for this particular call. It is to join that list, you would send a blank email to ibug, ibug, android, android, insight, insight, the plus sign, subscribe at groups.io. Sending in a blank email will put you on the list. So if you have questions between this call, which is every third Wednesday, that's a great place to reach out to us. And you'll hear from Michael and others in the community, which Michael McCullough is our president and founder of this organization. Sunday Rao is our VP. So thank you to them for enabling us to teach you and show you and share all the Android goodies. And also wanted to say a quick thank you to Jules. Julie is in our call today, and she's been she's our back end team, and so thank you so much, Julie, for all your help that you
Hi.
do.
Hello.
Yeah, um, so Hershey,
Yeah.
how's the weather in Florida now?
Burr. Oh wait, that's not a temperature, right?
Yeah, we getting those high winds with Burr as well.
I
So it
just asked.
seems.
It's at 68 degrees.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you could sit at the beach, a little fire.
Mm.
No.
Why not?
Yeah, nice bonfire night.
Yes. And you know
Okay.
what? What I love about this call again is the community that drives it. So you think, hey, we want to figure out who's in this community tonight, and maybe there's more guests. You ready for
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Uh,
Let's let them introduce themselves.
okay.
So please let us know who you are, if this is your first time on the call, and what Android devices that you have. And just remember, your Alexa device is an Android device, and so is your Google device. Now, don't be shy.
Right. Unmute and just let us know where you're coming in from, your name, potentially what kind of device or what you want to know about us.
Good evening, it's Renee.
Yay, Miss Renee made it. Hey, Miss Renee. How you
Hey,
doing?
how you doing?
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm a returning person, and I have Samsung TVs and Google Chromes and Fire Sticks and Google Assistants and Alexa and Pixel phone and all that.
It's gonna be fun going down those pathways because so many things are happening with Google and Samsung and everybody. But thank you so much, Miss Renee. We missed you there a couple months. I know you mentioned you're busy, so we're welcoming you back, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Dan. I'm in Illinois. This is my first time here. I've been an iPhone user for many, many years, but it seems that the coders over at Apple have been working very hard to push me to look for an alternative, so that's why I'm here. So I hope I can learn some basics about the Android smartphone tonight.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And I'm sitting back here giggling. Sorry. It seems it's the push and pull, and we'll get there eventually. As we say, or at least I say to people, it's all about access. We want accessibility, not pay for this brand or that brand. So thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll answer some of your questions a little bit later.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Next person, please.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm living in Connecticut. I mentioned earlier I run a support group at the Center of the Blind in New London, Connecticut. We have a mixed group of users, both Android and Apple. So I come across a lot of questions and try to help people with Android phones. So I'm here primarily to learn some about accessibility features on Android phones.
Fantastic, Mike, and it's a pleasure to have you. And I just want to say a quick thank you because you have a community in your local area and you're willing just to help them and go learn about what you have to help your people. So a big thank you just for that sheer fact that you're holding down your community with knowledge and try to improve everyone's lives. So thank you so much for what you do up there in Connecticut. All right. Anybody else want to introduce themselves? Let us know where you're coming in from. Name what kind of phone, perhaps, or anything that you want us to know about you.
This is Paul in Columbus, Ohio.
Hey there, Paul. Nice to have you on the call. Wow, I'm hearing brand new names today, so I really appreciate it. Thank you. And
First call, first time on this call.
Awesome.
I've got Alexa devices and Fire TV, Cube, and looking to change over an old computer with the Google operating system, Chrome operating system to make it work a little bit longer.
Sounds fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, the Chromebooks and some of these devices do offer up sometimes that terminal type of thought process. Quick, you get in, you get your emails done, things like that. So thank you for joining us, and hopefully we'll get to discuss it a little bit later.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Janice in Maryland.
Hey, Marilyn, welcome to the call.
I have a Galaxy Z Fold and Echo devices and a Samsung television.
Awesome. And thank you for laying those pieces out because, again, different brands do different things. Samsung might do one thing. We saw earlier people at Pixels and the Assistant from Google and Amazon. So thank you so much, and look forward to your questions in a minute.
I guess I'll jump in there. This is
And
Quentin.
who might you be? Oh, it's you, Quincy.
Yeah, it's me again.
Welcome back, sir.
Here outside of Houston. I have a lot of devices. I have a lot of devices.
So, are you on which camp are you in? Are you in like the Motorola camp? No, maybe.
No, I love my Samsungs.
Oh, okay, Samsung.
I,
See,
I
there's
don't
too many
mind.
choices.
I'll venture out if need be, but I've been a long time Samsung user. Not bad. It could be they're getting better as compared to most others, but not bad. I
You
love
know
my
what?
A-lady.
I'm seeing a theme here, though. Actually, it seems like it's all about the developers today. Yikes!
I mean, I won't talk about the voice view.
Yeah. Ivona,
Yeah,
they just pulled the voices from us. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I won't get mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. But thank you so much for joining us, Quentin. Yet again, for some of our returned callers on the call today, thank you so much for always coming back and giving us all this insight that you have. So with that, is there anybody else that wants to quickly come in and let us know where you're coming in from, your name, and we can go from there? Hey, Amazon lady, you over there? Who are you? Amazon lady? Hello?
Yes, this is Ava Caruth. He calls me the Amazon lady because I have a lot of Amazon devices, everything from a Fire tablet. I do have a Fire TV as well as my Samsung Note 25G, which is about to get retired. I haven't set up my S24 Fay yet, but that's my new and latest phone. I have a Google Home as well. So, this is the Alexa Google House.
Is this going to be a farewell episode? I hope not. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. But just to let you guys know again who I am, for people that might have just been joining in, I am Hershey from Daytona Beach, Florida, and been using Android since about 2012, 2013. Samsung has been my predominant brand that I've stuck to. However, the Pixel phones are fantastic. I have a Pixel Fold here in the mix-up. I, like Ava, have not set up my Pixel 9 Pro yet, so hope to do that maybe after the call later on. But some devices as far as home assistance is the Google stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the Amazon stuff, but there's a Fire Stick, I think, in the living room. I don't know if it's plugged in, but it's there. I mean, does that count? So, so I guess, Ava, if you're ready for them questions, if anyone else wants to say anything, I'll throw it back to you.
Yeah, so, anybody have any question, comments, concerns? And I want to say welcome to all the new users, new members to our iBug Android list. And y'all keep the questions coming, because as I find more interesting information that Android is putting out through different lists that I am on, I always share it with the list. So you're welcome to share anything new you find out about Android, or anything interesting, or if you have a question, or if there's anything that you would like to hear us talk about or demonstrate in the next show. That is where you could send it out to the list and let us know. So, any comments, any questions? Does anybody have anything new that they want to share?
I can put up a question.
Yes.
They said I'm trying to learn a little bit about what's available on Android phones, and being an Apple user, the two things that I use almost entirely, actually three, on my devices. Of course, I use Siri. I know about the Google Assistant, but then I use VoiceOver and Zoom, which are Apple terms. What are the equivalent terms on an Android phone, or the equivalent apps?
Wonderful question. And if I did hear you correctly, as far as this is Mike, correct?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Just we want to make sure everybody understands who everyone's in the room. So I'm going to throw it to the audience because we have a really smart audience and they know what they're talking about. I promise. So, hey, community, what do you think is the differences, core differences between the Apple and Mike's question there? Anybody want to give Michael some insight?
This is Kevin.
Hey, Kevin.
The answer is well, the equivalent of those apps is TalkBack and Magnifier. So it's going to be Gemini instead of the Google Assistant for the Siri, and it's going to be TalkBack for the screen reader and Magnifier for the magnification.
Good, thank you. I'll look into those.
And to add to that, since I'm also a low vision user, thank you so much for that answer there, Kevin. TalkBack, of course, if you're a screen reader user, you have that. Intermediary, if you're low vision, you might use Select to Speak. And then you might also change color contrast. So you might have color inversion that you may decide to do. The phones, most phones, Pixels, Samsungs, Motorola's, they all have dark mode because of the operating system. One key factor to note that when an operating system is updated, TalkBack is not on the same cycle. VoiceOver has it where you have iOS 18.3, I think right now is current, but you might get new features with VoiceOver. So TalkBack is on its own update cycle. When you're looking at the Android operating system, currently we're at Android Beta 3 on Android 16. However, stable is Android 15. Most devices that are Pixel are the ones that you'll find are most up to date. Samsung right now, I think, is still at Android 14 as a stable, but they're shifting into Android 15 just because of a slow delay with Samsung and I guess the structure from Google. So those are key differences. Magnification, of course, Kevin had mentioned. A couple different factors to note. On Samsung phones, you will get your TalkBack and what have you from the Galaxy Store. What does that mean? Is the Galaxy Store is Samsung's equivalent to the App Store for Apple. On Google devices such as the Pixel device, you will go to the Play Store. So the Android accessibility suite covers what we just discussed, the magnification, TalkBack, Select to Speak. Select to Speak, I forget what they call it in VoiceOver or in Apple Land, but it's kind of like you could point at something and it'll briefly read it to you. And maybe later on we'll also be discussing Assistant versus Gemini and where that's going to be going in the future, because there are some huge changes coming down the pike. But that's the brief of it. And if you have more questions, please feel free to ask them, or we appreciate it. So thank you so much, Mike. All right. Any other questions, thoughts? I heard a couple voices there. Sorry if we stepped on each other for a second.
I have a question. This is Dan.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, as I said, I'm new to the Android world. Can you suggest some place I go where I can get an idea for what the Android is about, what its capabilities are, without giving, I don't want sales pitch, I'm looking for information. Just to give some background, my priorities are that I have something functional, reliable, and stable. And I'm not getting that with iOS or iPhones. They seem to be, they're not fixing bugs. They're putting things out without knowing what they're doing, without testing. They're expecting the customer to test. And they seem to be more focused on cool emojis and playgrounds and things for kids. So I'm looking for something more functional. So if somebody can suggest a place I go or people to talk to where I can ask questions and get real information, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you for that, Dan. And I'm going to exactly throw it back to our audience because it's a community call that drives this show. So what do you guys think? Anybody have an answer for Mr. Dan here?
This is Janice. Well, I think this is where he can get his answers.
Thank you, Ms. Janice.
Yeah,
Appreciate
yeah.
that. But yeah, I mean, this call is, we have like 46 episodes on YouTube. So if you do go to YouTube, type in iBug Android Insight, or if you type that, actually that shows up, or even iBug Today. Once you go to iBug Today, go to the channel and you'll see 3-4 little tabs. So videos, live, and then playlist. And so when under the Android Insight list, there's about 46 videos from our past episodes. And we've discussed quite a bit. I mean, sometimes we'll talk about AI, just how it impacts on Android and this and that. That is a functional tool because we want to get our work done. And the other places, blind Android users have terrific write-ups. Forget if Quentin or someone else could maybe clarify, is it Accessibly Android, or I forget the website, but it's a forum or a write-up. They do articles on there. That's a great place. And if you always mail in any questions, again, the support is always going to be there. And to kind of go back to reference, where I'm not going to sales pitch you or anything, but it's about what works in the Android ecosystem for me. Samsung has great hardware. They have great battery life, great screens, especially for low vision folks. However, they're delayed in their talkback cycle. So they're about 3 to 6 months delayed most of the time. And Google is the one who actually manufactures and, well, makes TalkBack and makes these features available. So my definite recommendation would be a Pixel phone for anyone that is a screen reader user. They're definitely chomping at the heels of each other because Samsung and Google do work together now. They are partners. A lot of these phones are 7 years worth of OS updates, and TalkBack in its own, if the phone can run it, it's going to run it. So at least for 7 years, you do have the stability there where you're not saying, I got to throw this phone away. Of course, there are one-off situations, and the Pixel 4a, for example, was that one-off situation, but that does not bring down everything else. It was just one-off battery issues. An update ruined it after the fact, after almost 2 years of that phone being out of service. So a couple places there. Ava, you had a bit of input there?
No, it's all about what's going to meet your needs, is what you're going to be looking at. There's like Hershey said, I'm a Samsung user. I prefer my Samsung phones, but we have the Pixels out there. We have
Motorola,
the Motorola, and then
OnePlus.
yep, there we go. That's the one I was trying to think of. There's the OnePlus. They are and it also depends on how much are you wanting to spend on a phone. Because Samsung has their A series, which are a little bit cheaper
Top of screen.
in
Speech off.
price for the phone. So it is all about what you are looking for in a phone and how much you're wanting to pay. Are you wanting the touch screen? Are you comfortable with touch screens? If not, and you just want a phone that's like the old flip phone that you can just do stuff on, then we have the blind shell phone. So it's all about what's going to meet your needs and what are you looking for and looking to do with the phone.
Fantastic information there, Ava. It definitely makes
Yes.
sense. And for the flip phones, yeah, Samsung has their flip and fold, and then so does Pixel with their fold, but their touch. And so having something tactile definitely is an improvement. I heard somebody else's voice.
This is Renee.
Hey, Miss Renee, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where you live, but if you're looking for, just the opportunity to put your hands on a phone and try some things out and maybe have somebody, guide you through. I don't know if you have any of your local blindness organizations that do any, peer training on cell phones and other tech stuff. Because a lot of times either, ACB or NFB will do that type of thing in their local chapters. Or if you have a like here we have the Cleveland Sight Center. So if you have something like that provides services for people who are blind or low vision, you might find somebody there that's familiar with that technology and be able to, sit down with you with a device and show you what it can do so you can see whether or not it's the right one for you.
Definitely agree. Yes.
Yeah, and also this is Ava. Your phone carrier. You can always go in the store. Yeah, they're going to do the sales pitch, but if you want to just put your hands on the phones and look at them, that is another great place for you to go, and you can look at the phones. And a lot of them don't know, but just to let you know, once you touch a phone in there, all you have to do is have them go to settings and then to accessibility and turn on the talk back or turn on the magnification so you can touch the phone and see how it works with it. And I know from because I'm with T-Mobile, and I've been able to go in the store and turn on those features for me to be able to look at them and see how they work.
Great points. And from our past, we've always kind of seen people that get shoved with these Motorola's or jitterbugs, and it scares me, and I feel terrible for our people. I'm so sorry that salespeople are doing that to you, because that's not right. Right? It's not that they're not usable, but you want access. You want the phone to do what you need it to do. You don't want to be left out in the cold because you don't have enough RAM and you can't use Google Lookout or something that the friend next to you had, and then you'll have FOMO, fear of missing out. And yeah, it's a rabbit hole I could go under, but let's keep this positive. And so, again, the brands, as we mentioned, OnePlus is a little bit outside of the box, but they still have accessibility features. We have a member that usually joins us, maybe a little bit later, who uses OnePlus, and I've seen more people use OnePlus. Again, everyone has their benefits and drawbacks. Samsung, again, TalkBack is slower. Pixel, everything is great, but maybe not as feisty as a Samsung device. So, you kind of have your back and forth. Motorola, great phones, cheap enough, $200-300. You could get into a nice, decent device. What scares me about them, again, operating system, they might only last a year. So you spend $200 instead. If you spend $499 or $350 or let's say $500, you're more than likely to be able to have something for that 7 years. And it's gonna, if you calculate that, times 7 years, you're gonna save money that way and a headache. So those are just some thoughts. Thank
A
you.
lot of great ideas. Thank you. I appreciate that. And if I could
Absolutely.
follow-up question, I'll
Yeah, go ahead.
just listen. And my background is software almost a half a century, so I'm kind of picky on this. I know that iOS, when things are distributed through the App Store, Apple does not require developers to follow the accessibility specifications. And I think businesses should be required. People just doing games now. In the Android world, are people who develop software, the software developers, the companies, do they have to follow accessibility specifications for that platform?
Fantastic question. I like that question. Any insight, folks, to back to our community? Any insight, Kevin?
This is Kevin.
That's Kevin. All right, go ahead.
I know from listening to Google and other developers that it is strongly suggested. There's a flag that pops up that gives them cues on how to make their app accessible. It has helped some, but I don't think that it's like if this app is not accessible, then it won't be approved because I guess maybe with AI or something, there will be a way, but there's no way to know if it's accessible before it's approved through the Play Store. So a lot of time that accessibility comes after feedback, after it's already in the store. And developers can be pretty responsive. It just depends on.
Yep.
The smaller the company or the developer, the more likely you are to get. I've even had developers call me on the phone, so you can get responses.
Appreciate all the help, guys. Thanks.
Absolutely. And just to throw a disclaimer, most of my thoughts are my thoughts and not iBug today's thoughts, because sometimes I know I might speak about brands and this and that. So just want to clarify that, these are my thoughts. But next question.
Yeah. Well, also,
go ahead, Ava.
Go to YouTube, because a lot of times they have people who are unpacking, setting up, or describing a lot of the Android phones on there. So if you type in the search for Android phones, you will get a lot of information there too. That would be helpful.
And Dan, if you haven't already, like I said, with the mailing list that we have, if you email us just thoughts like, hey, can you answer point 1, point 2, and point 3? We could figure it out. Maybe I could go make a video for you and at least explain it for your clients or whomever, your constituents. So, we're more than happy to kind of help our community out that way as well.
Hershey, this is Janice.
Go ahead, Janice.
To that thought, I know you've told me this before, but it hasn't stuck in my brain. After we send the email to have access to the Google group, if we want to send a question, how do we address the two?
Miss Amazon Lady, you have an answer for that?
Once you join the list, all you have to do is when you do your question, the iBug Android Insight at groups.io will be who you
iBug
send it
Android.
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just type in your question. Since you're a new user, it'll come through. I'll approve it. Once I approve your first time you send in a question, then every time you just send an email straight to that list, and everybody will get it.
Okay, yeah, I think I've done the first time, but I could just send
And
it
I think I've seen your name in there. So if you just put it for the two, just you have your whole
iBug Android inside. Okay.
Correct. And you have your whole compose, your whole body of email, ask anything. If you have videos, hey, I bought a new phone, I need a new case. I've seen that question before. Hey, TalkBack is doing this, that, and the other. Why don't you try this? So definitely a useful place to answer questions in between. Thank you, Mr. Janice.
This is Mike again, and I have
Sure, go ahead, Mike.
questions. Two apps that are hugely helpful for me are Seeing AI and Be My Eyes.
Yes.
Are they available on Android?
Quick answer, yes. But to be more in depth, Quentin, go ahead.
WeZoom's a good one for magnification. Well, and then there's a lot of good ones.
Lookout's a good one.
So and that was the thing Miss Janice said, shared Lookout. So just to kind of go down the rabbit hole of apps, pound for pound, apples to oranges. So you have Seeing AI, made by Microsoft, available on both platforms. You have Be My Eyes by Be My Eyes, available on both platforms, and Be My AI is available on Android as well. So if you're looking for describing the scene and such that, or asking for help, you know what, Mr. Renee is probably going to be like, here he goes again. But if you use Be My Eyes, you could also connect to Google that way, or send them a blank email, or not blank email, I'm wrong list. Send an email to g.co/disability support, and any kind of Android device, you have questions, thoughts, there Google can spearhead those questions for you with that email. But kind of come back to the apps. A couple apps that are not available on iOS: Google Lookout Assisted Vision, which is the whole title, because sometimes if you just put in Lookout, you'll get the cybersecurity tool. So put in Lookout Assisted Vision. Then other familiarities, you might have heard of Envision or Envision AI, formerly I think it was called. And so Envision is on both platforms. And that also has low vision tools. So if you're trying to use magnification kind of tools, I do recall that Envision actually lets you use it as a magnifier as well as utilize the screen or text or document reader and such that, and even images readers. Google Lookout offers text, document, currency. I did 3 shows out of India, and it worked like a charm to read the rupees in India, and came right back to America. It flipped it to dollars, and bam, no hiccups. So that, and then it has images mode, which is kind of like what Be My Eyes or Be My AI offers. VZoom, as Quentin alluded to, is the magnification. It's really clean magnification, so you don't have any kind of haloing and all these other interesting things that could happen. And if anyone else has more to the list, anybody? I guess I covered them.
That's very helpful.
Not a problem.
How about Meta Smart Glasses and MetaView?
Yes.
Amazon Lady? Oh, wait, Meta Lady?
Yes, they work well on the Android platform as well.
I was using mine today in the grocery store.
Awesome. Hey, quick side note while we were talking about Meta. Did y'all have updates that y'all have to do? And did y'all have any hiccups? Because, we were talking about iOS and Android. I have a really good friend of mine from way back in the Wayback Machine, and they updated their Metas with firmware or something. and it went hiccup. Anyone else had any kind of hiccups on Android with it?
This this is Renee. No, I
Go
haven't
ahead.
had any hiccups. I've done the updates and I've had no problems.
Fantastic. So stability wins Android. Android wins. I'm sorry. I won't get excited. I'll refrain
This
from
is
that.
John.
Go ahead, John.
I hear that the update for the Meta Ray-Ban glasses supports Audible. Is that right?
Amazon lady. Oh, sorry. Miss Ava.
Well, let's throw it out there to the community for those who have Meta glasses.
Well, they Bluetooth into your phone, so you can say, just open Audible or read, most recent book or whatever you do through any other Bluetooth to read Audible.
This is
Uh,
John.
Go ahead.
So, no, I was just asking because I did the update about 5 minutes ago, and it was saying that it has Audible integration, so you can say like next chapter, previous
Oh,
chapter, things like
cool.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
oh, this is Renee. So that's one of the apps in the settings. They have apps that you can connect it with, and that's one of the ones like you can connect it with,
Okay.
like Be My Eyes or things like that. They added that to the connected apps part. I haven't seen that. I haven't looked in there lately.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't done that.
This is Kevin.
Go ahead,
Go
Kevin.
ahead, Kevin.
Um,
We lost you there, Kevin.
because of some of the
There you are.
connection, I guess, with Facebook and Amazon and all that stuff. So, but yeah, you can say next track, previous track, play, pause.
Thank you for that update. Yeah, so Be My Eyes, I've heard that's on the platform per se, and then I guess now Audible, and I guess the list will grow. But
You
great
can
question.
do
Go ahead.
you can do Opera through WhatsApp, I guess. Still, it's not native, but you have to go through WhatsApp.
Yes. And that's the same thing with Ira because you can use them when you're in Walmart.
Yes.
Even though Walmart, you know, it works when you're in the open area. But I know Ira has theirs set up where they have the Ira free at Walmart. So you can use your Meta glasses and connect
So,
through
like, what
Ira.
kind of command would you say, Ava?
Actually, what you do is you go and you connect with Ira first, and
Mm-hmm.
then you let them know that you want to connect with them through your Ray-Ban Meta glasses, and they will do a link to you, and you tap on that. You go to your WhatsApp app, and then you connect. Everything is connected through WhatsApp, and then they connect, and they can see through the camera on your Meta glasses. So now you don't have to hold your phone up. As long as you're wearing your Meta glasses, they will. All you have to do is look at whatever you want them to see.
So then when you're looking at something in the store, you just
Uh-huh.
say, what am I looking at?
Oh
Or
no, 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 no. If you're talking with Ira, they'll read it for you. But
right, but you have to
if you
let
with
them
your
know that you want them to read something.
no,
So,
no, 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 no. If you're connecting through Ira, is like Be My Eyes.
mm-hmm,
Except for Be My Eyes a volunteer, Ira is paid, but Ira
mm-hmm,
in Walmart is free. So once you connect with the Ira agent, and when you're looking at something, all you do is you just talk with them normally. Say, okay, so like I'll tell them I'm looking for what was I was looking for some almonds. So
mm-hmm,
they're scanning and tell me which way to go, turn my head to look for it, and once they
mm-hmm,
find
mm-hmm.
it, I reach out for it and they tell me right where it is.
So is there a list of stores that
On the Ira app, under the
mm-hmm,
free zone. Okay,
mm-hmm,
airports. Check your airport because airports are free.
mm-hmm,
Walgreens is one of the free ones that you in
mm-hmm,
Target. But on the Ira app,
mm-hmm.
there is a tag that will let you know where are the Ira free zones.
Okay, okay. Good to know. Thank you.
And if you have your notifications turned on, which I think this was so cool, because it kind of, shocked me a little. I was walking near the Walgreens and it told me Ira free zone, and I was like, "Do who?" Okay, but if you're near an Ira free zone, because I was near Bush Intercontinental Airport, and they're an
Mhm.
Ira free zone. And believe me, it was so much more fun dealing with them than dealing with somebody trying to get me to my when my airline was on the same floor. It was
Mhm.
so much nicer having them do it.
I'm
You
definitely
know,
gonna look at that. Yeah,
yes.
thank you.
And that is AIRA, IRA, available on both iOS and Android.
Yeah, this is Renee. I thought
Go ahead.
Walmart ended their
Oh,
agreement with IRA.
they keep showing that they still have it.
They just posted something yesterday.
Okay.
I thought
And
it was
what
like
was that
end of
information there,
end of
Kevin?
March or when? I'm not sure.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
So there's a little confusion there, Kevin. You saying that they're going to go away, or are they going to stick around with Walmart?
No, they posted something about, I mean, they've been really promoting it. I mean, Ira was just promoting it yesterday,
Yeah.
some other new. So I hadn't heard anything about it going away. I don't know.
Okay,
No, I haven't either.
Okay,
So
it'll stay stable then. I thought I was like, okay, Walmart pulled back. I mean, I wouldn't be. Thank you. All right. Well, more questions, thoughts. The stage is yours.
I'd like to talk about the changes coming to the Echo. I saw something. Which devices are going to be getting these new updates that are coming to the Echo?
Wow, you surprised me. I was going to think you're going to talk about Google, Miss Renee. But you just, you slipped me up there. I'm going to have to throw this back to the audience. Audience, what are some new updates happening with Amazon?
Well, I don't know if this answers that question, but does anyone have their Echo device linked to a Ring camera? Is that a new capability?
anybody want to
And who
answer?
says that, Miss Janice?
So we recently put a Ring doorbell camera up, and it said that there's an Alexa skill where you can, I guess, communicate with the person at your front door through your Echo device and your Ring doorbell. Anybody know about that?
Yes, so this is Hershey. That functionality has been around for quite some time with, let's say, the Echo Show 5 and 8 because they have a screen on it. However, what Miss Renee was asking specifically is soon enough, we've heard about this thing called AI, right? Android Insight, right? Artificial intelligence, right? Not Android Insight. That's going to be put onto the system. And so I think it's called Amazon Plus or Echo Plus or something. I'm a little fluffy on the information because everyone's throwing news out there. I mean, it's been a busy month, but everyone's trying to leverage AI. So it's that conversational thing, right? So Google uses Gemini, just to give you kind of context or comparison to what's what. With the Echo, it's almost like having a conversation with that person or that thing. Earlier, Quentin did allude to Amazon stuff and that conversational piece. So there is some updates around the corner. I think there was a paid plan that was, I think, attached to that. Not 110% sure because, again, everything is so new. And with AI and all of this stuff, you'll go to sleep tonight, wake up tomorrow, and then you'll see something new, completely different tomorrow. So I apologize that I'm not giving you extremely accurate information there, but I woke up after, well, I didn't go to sleep yesterday. So whatever happened the day before yesterday must have changed or must be shifting. Ms. Renee, would you be satisfied with that at least?
Well,
Does that give you a little bit more context or you have more questions on that?
yeah, I had read something about it, and I do believe that if you have if you have Amazon if you have
Prime?
Amazon Prime, you don't have to pay the monthly thing. But I was kind of curious if that would include, and those details are probably not out there yet, whether if you have more than one Echo device, would that cover all of your devices?
Well, funny thing, I don't know if I was talking to you about it last week or something, but what's so funny? We were talking about the cameras that Google offers and Amazon. So we just heard about the Ring doorbell, right? That's the type of a camera that you attach to your doorbell. Well, each camera costs money on Amazon. So if you got some money to throw $20 per camera, I'm just throwing a number out there artificially, like the intelligence it is, you have to pay for those, right? Whereas the Google side, you could buy 20 cameras as long as your devices handle those, so be it. And so again, it's the servicing fee that Amazon definitely is charging. I've heard they have security systems, so I have like the loud alarms and all kinds of interesting things. So Amazon's definitely gearing into some interesting ecosystems, if you want to call it that, trying to take away from the cyber, or not cyber, but just home security, or have the A lady do multiple functions. So again, it's a big competition out there, and I think growth is always going to happen. But Ava, you had more insight?
No, because that's the I know Amazon is introducing new things right now, but as we see, our Echo devices are always changing, and they're getting newer ones, newer models. Let me put it that way, are coming out. But
And so, Ava, with you want to clarify if you have an Echo or any of those Amazon devices, what apps do you have to use to, interact? I mean, I know Google. They call me Mr. Google sometimes, but the same. What happens on your side?
yeah, well, just like with the Ring doorbell, that's been an Alexa skill that you can set up, but you have to go through your Alexa app on your phone and go through the add a device. So you want to add it there. So make sure you check it off under your Ring doorbell app, and then go under the Amazon app and go on the add new device, and you can check that. Now, if you have multiple Echo devices or even Echo shows, so you have to tell it which ones, and you can check off on as many of them as you want that you want it to connect with as well. So, but it does work with your Alexa device. Um, I've been just looking at the new Echo show that's out, but more or less because I think that's one that has the AI feature in it. I'm not sure. It's been a minute since I put it in my cart. So, um, as AI comes out more, yes, you will see our devices will take on those, but I think a lot of our older first generation Echo devices may not transition seamlessly with it. But also remember, Echo has a trade in. So you can trade in your old device, get,
Oh, really?
I
yes.
didn't know that.
Yeah, they give you at least 10, maybe $20 off on the next device credit. So,
This is
but you
great.
can trade in your older devices as well.
This is John.
This is
Yes.
Kevin. Oh,
Okay, go ahead,
Oh,
John, and then Kevin.
yeah, sorry. No, I was just curious. So, I got a notification saying that there's a spring event, Amazon spring event. Is that right? Or
Yes, it has not been announced the day yet, but we know Amazon does have a spring event coming up. They just have not set the date.
Interesting, interesting in Amazon land.
Okay,
So,
Kevin,
yeah,
hang
go ahead,
on.
Kevin.
oh, I was just saying that the report says that the Amazon Plus should already be on most of the Echo shows first, but the
Hmm.
people that have the standard Echoes have to wait, and it should be pushed to those by the 31st of March.
Kevin,
And so it's going to be pushed to your account. I mean, if you're a Prime member, so that means it'll work with all of your speakers. It'll just be the new Alexa. I mean, they're calling it Alexa Plus, but it'll just be your new Alexa. So it's going to work on all your speakers the same.
all right. Thank you, Kevin.
This is Sri.
Go ahead, Sri.
Yes.
So, Kevin, did they say that this is going to include the original Echo 2? Because I thought the original Echo, original dots, those were going to be excluded.
Yeah, they didn't go back. I didn't see anything about the Echo 2. I don't know where mine is. I don't have it anymore. But I think I think as long as you have like a dot three and going forward, at least one of your devices, again, maybe if you have like an Echo 2 or something like that, it might not. But the studio, and I'm sure like the dot 5 and 4 and 3 and pops and the flex and all that stuff.
This is Sri. Can I go back to the Ring camera question?
Yeah.
So I've had a Ring camera since when they first launched it, and maybe the first few months I got the wow factor of it, but now I don't even pay attention to the Ring camera. Like I pay attention to the A lady telling me that somebody's at the door, but I don't even have enough time for the camera to show up on my, any of my devices. Even when I had it on the show, there was such a lag that I didn't find it very useful. Do you guys use the camera for video purposes or just for the audio purpose? And if so,
Well, so are you saying that you find out that someone's at the door more timely through your Echo than through the app for your Ring on your phone? Is that what you're saying?
no, what I'm saying is, there's the audio aspect of it and the video aspect of it when somebody rings the
Uh-huh.
doorbell.
Uh-huh.
The video aspect of it has always been a lag. The audio
Yeah.
aspect has been pretty quick. So
Uh-huh.
I've had it so long that the video aspect, I kind of gave up on it just because
Uh-huh.
I don't even think my wife or my daughter even uses the video because it just wasn't, it's not, at least it wasn't when I had it set up, it wasn't in real time. There was a lag.
Yeah, there is. We just had ours done like this week and there's a lag. Yeah. Yeah.
And this is Mike, and that same thing. We've had it for a long time, and we don't use the video, if at all. The fact that we get the notifications on the phone that there's a person or motion is very helpful. If they push the button, the doorbell rings, but I don't think we've looked at the video in a long time.
Yeah,
Wh-
not unless like you want to go back and look and,
Yes,
see who was there or something. Yeah.
What is the verbal command when you get the audio alert to say who's at the door?
I haven't set up that skill yet, so I don't know.
I know I've asked this question in this group when I forgot, but
I don't have it set up like that right now, guys. Someone else has had a thought. I heard a voice.
I thought Ava told me that you can ask the Echo device to ask who's at the door.
I think you can do that. You can talk to the person out there, but I find it so hard to see my phone that I would never figure out how to make it work.
No, this is Shrey.
Go ahead.
So like right now, even my first generation dot tells me if somebody hits the Ring doorbell, it'll say somebody's at the door. And I believe I can talk to my dot, which will talk to the Ring doorbell, say, hey, who's at the door?
Without having to use the app on your
That's
phone
correct,
and
because
try
you
to
can verbally
find
just
where to
ask it
press
on
and blah, blah. That's what I want to set up. Yeah.
This is Hershey. I'm going to take a stab at it. I would want to
Okay.
say that you'd have to have probably recognition of people that it
Mhm.
may pick up. I mean, that seems like other apps kind of handle it that same way.
No.
Well,
Go ahead, Ava.
no, well, the command if you want to answer your Ring doorbell and talk to them through your Alexa device is whatever your device name is, answer front door.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
Yeah,
Answer front door.
Answer for door. Okay, thank you. I knew there
Yeah.
was something in there.
yeah, or whatever your Ring device is named, as it says.
Oh.
I like to rename stuff, so, but
Yeah.
yes.
This is Renee.
Go ahead.
Now, trying to see who's there. One thing I know with the the Google cameras, they're pretty quick at telling me who is there. My husband has gone through and tagged family members and stuff so that they are identified. So they'll tell me someone's in the garage or someone's at the back door, and they'll give me the names. And it's actually pretty responsive with the cameras. But I find the cameras to be more responsive than the doorbells. They just seem to give me an instant alert. And since I have talkback on the phone, it just reads it out loud to me. Lewis is in the garage, or something like that.
Now that's interesting. So we put a camera at the front door and a doorbell at the front door, and I just ordered 2 cameras for 2 other exterior doors. So I should be able to set those up as well through my Alexa to tell me.
Miss Janice,
Yeah,
for Miss Renee, she was actually alluding to the Google platform side with the
Okay,
cameras.
so it's
but,
different with the
well,
Ring.
different but similar, I would think. Miss Renee, you're going to say something additional
I was
to that?
going to say I'd be interested to see if the Ring cameras is it Ring cameras or are they Amazon cameras? If they're as responsive as the
Yeah.
as the
So
Google ones.
yeah, I just ordered them, so maybe next month I can let y'all know.
This is Shrey.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Amazon does own Ring.
Oh, yeah.
So whether you say Ring
Okay.
or Amazon, they're probably the same.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just never know which name they're using for different devices.
Right.
Just like Google and Nest and
Forget
So
Blink.
I ordered one that it's the camera and the floodlight. So I was going to put that one where the rear areaway is, and then one that goes to the rear patio. I was just going to put the camera.
This is Ava.
Go ahead.
When you purchase your cameras, all you have to do is make sure that they say that they are Alexa or Google accessible
Okay.
or enabled. As long as it says that,
The
if you have
compatibility.
an Alexa device or Google device, then you can go in there and set them up to connect with the with your devices.
Okay.
Activate the skills to do that.
And this
So
is
you just
Hershey.
want
Go ahead, David.
no, go ahead.
This is Hershey. This is why I wanted to say thank you to Shri about that question. But one thing I wanted to point out is each ecosystem has the two different apps. So Google uses Google Home app, and then Amazon uses the A Lady app, I want to say still. And so when you're kind of setting up your speakers and such that you have two different apps that you're going to kind of interact with your products, speakers, cameras, doorbells, smoke alarms, etc. So just to note, usability on both are going to differ slightly. I learned recently that within the Aware app for Google, for example, for the pre-recordings, as someone stated earlier, they're having a hard time to view the video, right? And I used it without buying a subscription from Google, just to have 2 3 days of who rang the doorbell, or maybe a day or two, whatever it was, and I could at least say or tell who's at the door, or go to that clip and hit play, and it will at least rewind it, and then I could show it to a sighted counterpart, to say, hey, who might be at the door, or do you see something suspicious at the door, that kind of thing, or if there's a package, perhaps someone. So those are some pieces there. I know the Google doorbell, for example, have two versions. One is wired and one is wireless, battery
Yes.
operated,
Same
and
with Ring.
same with the Ring. So you do have your choices of who you prefer. However, with the Google doorbell, with the battery version, they have a package where you could buy like this little solar panel kind of thing doohickey to it, so you don't have to keep removing it. It'll just keep charging the unit there.
Oh, that's nice.
If you're maybe in a cold place like Connecticut, sorry, um, just do note that some of these devices will suffer from battery issues because of the cold weather. Me being in Florida, even though you think, oh, it's hot out here, during the cold season, the battery tends to run out quickly. So you may have these devices go down on you, but it's a quick, let me plug it into a USB adapter outlet into the wall, and then pop it right back onto where it was, and you're capturing what you need.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, we were going to buy a second. I'm sorry. We were going to buy a second battery so that there won't be any downtime with charging. We can just keep one charged and flip them out. Yeah.
Right. And Mike, was that you
Yeah,
that you had some
I was
thoughts?
going to say in Connecticut, we have a wired Ring doorbell. And if the temperature is below 32 degrees, even though it's wired, it won't charge. So when we
Wow.
pull apart, yeah, in fact, I had a discussion with Amazon about who would ever design a system like that. But yeah, it charges all summer fine, and in the winter we have a second battery we have to swap out.
Hmm.
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Trey.
Do we know if the new Amazon devices will support Banner also?
As far
We'll
as I know,
support
they
what?
already did. He was asking if
Matter.
they're supported Matter devices. I thought that they already were Matter devices, but it's been really confusing with the consortium of Matter and the new devices, because Apple, Amazon, and Google were all three working on getting the Matter enabled devices pushed forward. As I read like the Google Home app, I see Matter devices plastered on it. I would be curious to see what Amazon users find on that. Anybody?
It's Quinn.
Go ahead, Quinn.
Quite a few do use, Amazon, if it's compatible, then you do get asked what kind of device, like if it's a Matter device or, Wi-Fi. Like if it's on the box, that's kind of how they tell you. I had to do one for an LED light. I had no idea matter, if it was a Matter device, but when it went through the setup, it asked you, it's like, oh, well, do you have this? You have this QR code here, or if it's a Matter device, it's this. So they seem to do it more. Because this was a recent LED bulb I got, but one of my older LED bulbs had it on the package, like specific. It was like, oh, this is a Matter, a Matter device, which I didn't know at the time what that meant, but now they're plastering it on everything now.
Thank you, Quentin. You've made me feel more comfortable because I was lost in the translation. If it's there, did they get rid of it? Everybody's always trying to do something new every day. So thank you
Yeah,
for that
this is Tree.
clarification. Go ahead, Tree.
I was just asking more on the Amazon devices if they've been coming with the Matter or not.
Yes, and like I said, with everything being updated, if there are light bulbs, they should more than likely work within that ecosphere of Amazon.
Right.
And even if it says Matter on it, go ahead, Quentin.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
So when you're connecting, trying to remember, I don't want to confuse you. Like when you're using the app and everything, let's say you're connecting lights or some device, into your living room, camera, whatever. Um, when you add a device, before it used to not be part of, you had to go through a whole horrible long process to add Matter devices. Now it's part of the setup. So when you go in the setup, like it asks you,
Matter enabled device.
right, like if it has that, there's a couple others I've never used, so I didn't really pay attention. Um, Along with, of course, like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connections, you um so it seems like they've incorporated it a lot more, a lot better than it used to be. Because again, like some of your other devices, you got to go to the original, device app, get that fixed up, then go to Amazon, then get that skill, then connect it, then go this route. Like you had to do all that. Now it's just boom, connect. You know, it'll look for it. Or you can do, it's QR code, which a lot of them do now. Um,
So, Quentin, just to
And
clarify on your statement there, you have the A Lady app, you bought a
mhm,
new device, and
right,
so the setup process, you're adding a device, and it's
right,
wham bam done. Beforehand, I'll explain my Google side of things. I have a Google Nest thermostat. I had to go to the Nest app, download that app, set that up, and then bring it into Google Home because Google Home is my main primary app that the smart home works under. So what you're saying is the A Lady app, ALXEA app, is the main frame, the main hosting app, so to speak. But if you had like Wise or anything else, or Blink as we called it earlier, not necessary if you have Matter enabled devices to just go straight to the A Lady app instead of going to the Wise, Blink, and such that, right? Is that kind of what I'm hearing from you?
for me,
yeah, yes and no.
Okay,
For
clarify, please.
things like Blink, because I actually have the Blink cameras, you still have to use the Blink app. Connect, because it is its own separate little system. But when you bring it into, the A Lady, being able to talk to the skill and setup and everything else, it's pretty simple to add now because since you do have it connected, well, it's a little different because Blink, well, comes from Amazon anyway. So it's a lot easier. Um, but like the Wise, when you go to connect those, some of the devices you can just go straight to the Alexa app. Others you'll have to still do their specific app and then connect through the skill. But it's a lot easier now than it used to be.
Be that. Thank you, Quentin.
I think I heard Kevin. Someone had a statement they wanted to make.
I didn't really have a statement. I didn't come off
Okay.
it, but the Amazon Echo devices are compatible with Matter devices. It will work.
Oh,
They're
great,
not
thank
going
you.
to take it away in the new items, but how you get there might be different. But it's going to work. It's going to recognize that it's a Matter device.
Right.
So real quick,
Go ahead.
when you say Matter device, is that a brand name
It's a
or is that
protocol. It's a protocol that devices have that is used for connectivity purposes. It's different brands will say it's a Matter compatible device. So Philips Hue, we mentioned Blink, Wise, such that Nest, and so on and so forth. So they would depict on the packaging that it's a Matter enabled device. So all that really signals to any consumer is that ease of use, right? It's quick and easy. You don't have to go through find the serial number, plug in this thing, put in that. You don't have to go all these extra steps. It's quicker. And the other piece is it's faster. So if you say, hey, blah, 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 a lady or whatever, turn off the lights, boom, instantaneously the lights are off. What was
gotcha,
happening with
gotcha.
older technology, they would hear it and then they're like, oh, okay, let me go turn them off. So it's also
So
for
the Echo
speed,
device is a Matter device?
as what Kevin just alluded to. Yes, it should be
Okay,
compatible with that.
gotcha,
Yep.
gotcha.
And then as far as the new devices are going to be, meeting to the new standards. So if you have a first generation, second generation, obviously it's going to be slower, and something that's more modernized is going to have the newer firmware and all of the knickknacks, paddywhacks. And Shri, you had something to say, please?
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't Matters talk to each other? So like one Matter device will talk to the other Matter devices. So they kind of like are their own little networking communicators.
Exactly. That little protocol of we all get to communicate, but because I think there's like Philips Hue used like Zigbee, so you would have like a little box that was like a hub, and then the hub would do all the managing. Even for iOS users, you have like the Apple HomeKit stuff, but having Apple devices, and let's say if I go over to Shree's house, well, how do I? And I'm staying for let's say a month. Sorry, Shree. And if I wanted to control stuff, and I'm using Android, you want that mixture of compatibility because it's not just I'm a HomeKit user and that's it. My mom, my late mother had the iPhone 14 Pro, so I would set it up as I set up all the devices. However, the Google HomeKit app had the app set up on the Apple device. So the compatibility between Android users and iOS users didn't make a difference. She could still control the devices just as well as I can with my Android device. So, there's not this, oh, well, if you get this, you can't do that kind of thing.
This is true.
Go ahead.
Also, does if your Wi-Fi goes down, your Matter still works, right? They're still talking.
I plead the fifth. Sorry, wrong answer.
I've heard that.
I'm not 110, but I think so. Because again, it's its own mesh network or its own little. Go ahead, Kevin.
That's like the biggest.
In theory, yes.
I mean, to me, that's the big benefit. So if your Wi-Fi goes down, you can still control your smart devices.
But if your device doesn't have internet, how are you going to talk to it to talk to them?
The Matters talk each other.
Matter is the network.
Yeah. They're hubbing within themselves.
Right.
But would you say you're using your voice, or what would your? So my thing is, what would be a control surface, right? So like you toggle something off, would it be in your app, and then that goes off, sends a signal out? Is that what you're kind of saying? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, this Quentin, for example, I had the Vivint system. I just keep it around just because, but most of the devices that are connected to it are, I forgot what it is. It starts with a Z.
Zigbee.
Okay, yeah. So even though I also have it connected to Amazon, when I say turn this light off or whatever, of course it turns the light off. It's a little lag there. But the thing about it is, like they were saying, with it being, most of these they have a hub that they connect to. Because of that, the way that system is and its little network. Of course, it's connected cellular, so of course, if Wi-Fi drops, then it reverts to cellular. But part of the other reason why I do keep it, if cellular drops, it still maintains all of my other devices that still talk to it, if that makes sense. Using my Amazon as its hub. So all those devices will still work for me, even though they're cut off. If that makes sense. Did I confuse anybody?
It's making sense. Thank you.
I stumbled across it, thought it was awesome, which is kind of the only reason why I still keep it. And with that doorbell camera through it, another outdoor camera, and like the keypad, and it doesn't matter, as long as it's got power, which is most of it. Some of them are battery powered. I can lock, unlock, and I don't need like Wi-Fi. Well, I don't need one or the other can still be connected and not have to worry about both being connected to a network or whatever because they still communicate. So it's pretty interesting.
Thank you, Quentin. And one thing I just want to put a clarification. We're all either low vision or blind. So we're doing it ourselves. We're not necessarily relying on outside help, even though some of y'all might have wonderful wives and husbands and stuff at home that will help you. But most of these things, as we were discussing them, we are trying to have access to it on our own. For example, in my hand, before we move on, I have a Philips Hue bulb, which is in my right hand. It's kind of like an ice cream cone, right? At the top, it's kind of flat, and then it comes down and gets narrower until the part that you screw into the socket of a light bulb. And then I put the bulb down, and now in my hand I have this box with a button in the middle. It's the Philips Hue router hub thing. I've lost the charger, so I'm out of luck. I can't use my bulbs to be smart right now. I tried with it this afternoon, but example has an Ethernet port in the back, so you can hook it up to your router, and it has a power circle thingamabob. You plug in your power cord in it. So that, again, is Zigbee, and it's using its own little network, but it connects to the router. So some of these devices, you will find that now Philips Hue make, like, this bulb is not Bluetooth capable, but their brand new version is Bluetooth and wireless capable. So finding your connectivity, and even if you're a woman that might be living on your own for security purposes, it may be important that you're on the road, but you set up a routine or you set up something within your apps to say, hey, go turn on the lights so it looks like I'm at home. So again, safety is definitely the utmost important to all of us, and these devices do offer that. Well, with that, I'm going to move on to the next. If anybody has more questions and thoughts, I know we have some new people in here, so I'll open the stage back up to you.
I have a dumb question.
Sorry, we don't answer
This is
those.
Quentin.
We just no
So
question is dumb, Quentin. You're fine.
Switching gears. So when you're saying in like sending a message, or you're in like Discord or WhatsApp or whatever, someone sends you a link, right? So the message might be like, hey, here's the link. And then, of course, they drop the link, you know, to such and such website, right? Before with TalkBack, you could use the controls to go to the link specifically in that message or post, and then do your copy pasting and everything else and move on. Well, I'm finding with the RCS, yeah, it doesn't let you do that. You can't, or I'm having issue doing that, and in other well, like Discord. Discord, you used to,
Right.
boom, you just go to it and there you go. Now, and I've asked others, a lot of times they go to the website, you know, and then copy it from the address line, and then go back and do whatever it is they're trying to do. I'm just wondering if someone knows an easier way, or
I
maybe
don't
I'm not.
like the RCS. I upgraded, then I went back. So I dropped it. I don't like it. I can't do a lot of stuff.
All right.
I
So
don't.
Right.
what is really, 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 really interesting, somebody untied the knot in my head way back in a year or two ago. And I just say thank you to all the AT instructors, all the caddises, all the other people that are helping each other out because you're seeing this every single day. Sometimes we may not see it every day as just average users. And so if he doesn't mind, but Kevin is the one who untied that knot for me once upon a time. Hey, hit three finger tap and then you'll see links at the top. Oh, yeah, I see that. Uh-huh. And then www. Oh, snap, I see the link. Now, what I'm having issues with, and I want to kind of maybe combine both together, and even an email from Miss Renee that she put on the list. It seems that every time I copy something like a link from Discord and such that, it decides to put rather than slash slash, two slash. So it's adding a two and it breaks my link. So I'm like, I thought I sent it to you. And the person's like, the Discord doesn't work for me or this link doesn't go there. And then come to figure out it was the HTTPS slash slash wasn't being said exactly. And with Samsung, they're still using the three finger tap because, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, they are delayed in pushing out TalkBack to the modern use case. Not for every device. I'll take that back. Not for every device, but for something like S22 Ultra, you may have to wait a little bit. Someone that's using like S25 or S24, so on and so forth, you will probably have the One UI 7 and all these updates and TalkBack and so on and so forth. But the mannerisms seems like they have shifted. So if anybody or Kevin or anyone else wants to explain, let's say a Pixel device, how do you copy paste your links or what is your methodology? Because getting the links, let's say on a Pixel device, last spoken feedback or what have you is one way I copy things out. And it's basically anything a screen reader says, just like if you were using JAWS or NVDA, it's like speech history, right? So if you heard the link, you know you have the link. And then you could just, select that link, copy paste it into wherever you want to take it to. On the Android side, if I hear a link in the message, at least I know I could extract that link out of that message. What are some of these fundamental methodologies that you all are using to copy paste links or through Pixel or through even Samsung? What's your methodology to kind of answer Quentin's question and ours? Go ahead, Kevin.
So I would have to install Discord to see if I can duplicate, but in messages, it has become easier with TalkBack 15 and TalkBack 15.1. So you just double tap on the link now. If you're in Google Messages or WhatsApp or whatever, it goes straight to the message. You don't have to wait for it to make the clicking sound and then tap with three fingers and go to links and all that stuff. You don't have to do that anymore. And in messages, if you swipe up with one finger, it will say go to link and it will tell you what the link is. And you can go there like that. If I want to copy the link, I double tap and hold, and then I touch up at the top in the right-hand corner, and it'll say I can either copy the link or I can share the link. And then when I go to share, that'll give me another opportunity to copy the link from there. If you're on a web page and you want to copy a link, you just double tap and hold, you swipe to the right, and copy will be usually the next item, either copy or share.
And Kevin, how many fingers is that double tap and hold? Is that
Just
one finger?
double tap and hold with one finger.
Okay, copy that. Thank you.
That now makes sense because I did do at one point, I guess the swipe up or down and it brought up the link and I'm like, okay, how am I supposed to copy this? And I'd never tried double tap and hold. I just was like, oh, double tap. And then I was like, wait a minute, maybe not. And I guess I was expecting it to focus, for the focus to be on the link instead of how it does now, which actually is kind of cool. I kind of like that. It singled it out. I'll have to try that. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, so if you swipe up with one finger and it's there, you can double tap and hold there too. But usually if you just wait for the, even if it just has the title of like the YouTube video or something that someone's sharing with you, even if your focus is not on the URL, if you double tap and hold, it'll copy the URL, not the text. So
okay.
And another knot is unturned and unloosened up in my head. Thank you,
Okay.
Kevin.
Okay, everybody, we are actually down to our last 3 minutes of the call. So I do want to let everybody know this has been a wonderful call with a lot of great information. And please do not forget the iBug movie that is Friday night, Kilago, 1948. And do not forget, y'all, let us Android callers really get in on the iBug $500 technology and let us try to win that, okay? Because you get
Yes.
$500 to use on any technology you choose. So, and the tickets are $10 a ticket or six for $50. And you can go through ibugtoday.org and contact Michael McCullough. And I know on the site it should have ways that you can purchase your ticket. Okay? And just remember the next call will be on April 16th. Same time, same place. And for those that want to continue, y'all are welcome to continue on.
Fantastic. And Ava, such a pleasure hanging out with you again. Can't believe we're already, 3 months in, 4 months? Wow, this whole quarter is flying.
Yep.
But fantastic. And thank you, Julie, for all that you do as well. And
Thank you for what y'all do.
appreciate you.
I'll stop the recording now.
Yes.